Welcome to Project Cars Drivers Club Season 4. PCDC returns to the hectic multi-class format this spring with a 7-race series of GT3 and LMP1 action. Each Saturday we'll have practice and qualifying, followed by 90 minutes of racing with accelerated tire wear to put your racecraft to the test. Additionally, we'll be running races with real weather enabled, so keep an eye on the sky and maybe bring an umbrella. Let's take a look at the circuits. The first race of Season 4 starts in what could be called the home of the sports car, Monza, Italy. Get ready to blast some chicanes. Next, we're off to Spain's Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for a scenic early morning jaunt. Week 3, we stopped by Algarve International in Portugal to speed through the hills of Portimao at sunset. Next, we head east to Japan for a go at the eponymous speedway in the foothills of Mount Fuji. After Japan, we hop the Pacific and head to my home track, Road America. This midnight race through the woods of Wisconsin is sure to put everyone's attentiveness to the test. Austin, Texas, home to Circuit of the Americas, our drivers' last chance to get their points in for the championship. This circuit will challenge them with its technical sections, but it won't be the last trial for these brave souls. Season 4 ends with a grueling 3-hour solo endurance race at Daytona Speedway in Florida. The main series championship may be decided, but this won't stop our drivers from fighting for the win in our seasonal endurance series. The season starts on April 28th, so visit pcdc.link to join us, or tune into the stream each Saturday as I take us through the action. For Project Cars Drivers Club, this is Dustin the Destroyer, signing off. Hello, and welcome to Week 2 of Season 4 with the Project Cars Drivers Club. I'm Dustin the Destroyer, joined in the commentary box by our very own Flickenflocken. Say hello, Flickenflocken. I don't know if he's here. Alright, well, we're gonna carry on. Flickenflocken's gonna join in for color commentary or just twiddle thumbs. But in any case, here we are at Spain in the qualifying session. Is that what they're called? A session? And we are underway with the LMP1 category. The GT3s have hit the field already. Bill Kerman taking the lead in the GT3 category, rather. Excuse me, I've been off for 2 weeks and I've forgotten how to speak. We got Kerman with the pole position in GT3s. Have a nice day. Behind him in P2 and I forgot who. Low Scub in third for the GT3s. Currently, Mason is got the provisional pole position for the LMP1 category with a 136.3. Tourbar is pretty close behind with a 136.9. So we could see that it whittled down a little bit by the end of the session here. They got just under 12 minutes left of the session. Looks like Albiner has 138 them into provisional P. pits there. As for the rest of the GT3s that have ran after third, we've got Domi in fourth, Logger in fifth, Dragasath in sixth, Echo in P7, Rubik's in eighth, Zeddy in ninth, Arnie777 is in 10th place, Pauly 11th, Apex Envy 12th, Dexa starting P13 for GT3, Arnie 14th, AVX Studio in 15th, Husky in 16th, Raz Daniels 17th, Iffy in 18th, and Flickin' Flockin', who is with me in the booth, is apparently going to be number 9 in LMP1, but pretty sure he won't be racing. He had to start, or had some technical difficulties with pedals or wheels or something, had to on the return process for some of that to get that fixed. Like Mason's out of the pits to give it another go. Turnbar has not gotten a better time just yet, but he's only got about 6/10 to, oh, Flickin' Flockin's in the chat. Oh, hello Flickin' Flockin. Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, hi. Flickin' Flockin's in the chat and the commentary box. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were just gonna sit in and listen or if you're gonna talk with me. It's fine either way.
I'm just out for some food.
Oh, right on. Yes. Sorry for making Flickin' Flockin look bad. Guy's got to get food. It's not his fault. It's a human process that we all have to get food at one time or another. Sometimes we have to get food right when the stream's starting. Was it a food emergency, Flickin' Flockin? I'm pretty sure Flickin' Flockin was on his last legs and really needed some nutrition.
Yeah, that's my first meal today.
See? Yeah, it's important. We need him at 100% for the race section, qualifying session. I keep wanting to call the session a section, and that's not necessarily proper nomenclature. Qualifying session. We can chill. We can speculate a little bit on what's gonna go down here. It's looking like rain out here today. As you can probably tell, it's gonna be kind of a hairy race, like our Monza race. Anything could happen in the rain. It's really trying on everybody's tires, everybody's patience, and everybody's pace. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know if it's meant to dry up later on. For anybody that's new to the series, we are using real weather on this series, so whatever the weather service that we use predicts is what shows up in game. So we could see this rain lift at some point, or it could just be a downpour for the rest of the day. Hard to say. You might notice, new to this, to week 2 here, we got some new overlays on screen. Rubik's has been hard at work developing some new overlays to have on screen. Instead of showing you all my camera selection that I have on screen, now I can show you some nice little stats and stuff at the bottom there. I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. That sweet PCDC branding out there. It looks like Sam has planted Alviner for provisional P3. Sam's got a 138.3. So that puts Albiner nearly 4/10 behind Sam now if he wants to get a hold of P3 here.
Mason was here before Monza. Or he's a new guy.
What was that?
Mason was here before in Monza, or he's a new guy?
Which one, Albiner?
Mason, first place.
Oh, Mason? Mason has been with us for a while. He's been in previous main series. I don't know if he has raced like every single race. But it is he's I will say he's been with us for a while, but we don't often see Mason in the race leading position. So he must have done some significant prep work for this race, and it possibly just feels at home in the rain here. He's not usually one of our front runners, so it's really good to see him out front there for qualifying. He's in the lead for LMP class by 6/10 still, so he's definitely doing something right these days.
Yeah, he's looking very fast. I only know Turambar's pace. I know he's a really fast guy on dry. Maybe, but it's not his place.
Yeah, Turambar has had some good luck with us in the past, but once the rain starts falling, it's a real X factor as to who's going to be leading. Sam also been with us for the past couple seasons, and he's had some good turnouts, but Sam's also another one that's not usually in the dry in the top 3 for qualifying. I don't often see him there. He's got really solid pace usually, but another really good showing for him out there too so far. Got a couple newer members with us for the race. Major Flex is fairly new. I don't know can't remember if people were with us for the very first race or if they've just joined this season or what have you, but Major Flex, Kimi Rafer, also new. Cub joined somewhat recently. Regaseth is pretty new. Rubix is pretty new to the series, to the club, and Arnie, Daxa. We got a lot of fairly new members here. That is good to see. Of course, a lot of our usual suspects out here too, trying to grab a podium here. I just saw Miffy in the Discord said, tell me the session was dry at the start, but I'm not actually 10 seconds off pace, please. Not sure what to tell you there, Miffy. Best of luck to you. See, we got just under 2 minutes remaining. See what these final laps have in store for us.
I think we should take a look at Turambar. He's going for his last hot lap.
Yeah,
I gave him some advice. Maybe can improve.
That is a fantastic idea. We'll see if he can finally shave off those 6/10ths, or if the track condition is kind of. He's had the same best time since about his first or second lap. So I think maybe the track condition is preventing some improvement, but Turambar might just have a banger here. He's got just about a minute left to get underway with the next lap. That should be it for the qualifying session after that. Cockpit cam's a little disorienting in the LMPs.
He is trying to game on hybrid. Looks like he is struggling with hybrid usage. Formax is up for race due to moving across the country or globe in a week. Well, we look forward to joining us whenever you can. Welcome to the stream in the meantime. Looks like qualifying is officially over. Everybody's gonna get their last lap in here. Doesn't look like it's gonna be the one for Turambar here, so he's probably gonna be settled into that P2. We'll see what Sam's doing. It looks like he's crossed the line already, so I think that's our top 3 for LMP1. So it looks like we'll have Mason in pole position, Turambar in second, Sam in third for LMP. For the rest of the LMP1 grid, Albiner will be in fourth, Major Flex in fifth, Hillbilly Chris in sixth. How Good Am I in seventh, Kimmy Rafer eighth, Bill Kerman is in a different class. I got the momentum going just then and just kept going. So yeah, Bill Kerman will be in pole for GT3 category. Have a Nice Day behind him, and Flo Scub in third. I've already gone over the rest of the GT3 field. I'll show them on screen here, but I'm not going to say them all out loud. I need to save my voice. Got a long hour-and-a-half race ahead of us. I'm not going to wear myself out this soon. Yeah, on the overlay on the bottom of the screen, I'm sure you can tell what you're looking at there, but it kind of cycles between the series standings, the individual driver standings for the GT3s and the LMPs, and we got like a little driver showcase. We show everybody's nationalities and their best finishes and their points and their car, all that. So got it's fun and informative, and it looks nice. I think think that's a fantastic addition now that I'm seeing it on screen on my preview here. Looks good. Thanks again to Rubix for making that. He's been doing some great work for us. Looks like we're missing some drivers off of screen here. I don't think it usually goes to fifth. Well, how that works. Unless we had, hopefully not, a mass disconnection. I'm gonna go ahead and knock on wood, and that is not the case. It is, I think. I got disconnected too.
Yeah.
I have deja vu.
Yeah, this
The cars doesn't really like dedicated servers. Well, Flickin', could you do me a huge favor and hop into the voice and find out what's going on and if Bubby's up or...
Of course.
So, status of the lobby is, but for now we'll go over the update from Bill Kerman here, the race show for you here. We're back from the break. We had a week off last week, so that equates to 2 weeks where nothing was going on. It does look after read. Yeah, we're back. It's week 2, which is 2 weeks after week 1, oddly enough. Not much for expected lap times out here. It's wet. LMP1s, it's wet. GT3s, it's also wet. At least it's the same for everybody, right? Isn't that saying? Lobby here. Slideshow. Danger zones today are going to be everywhere. It's wet all over. There's is standing water dangerous to your health? Go on plumbingnerds.com and find out. I don't know what that website actually leads to. Maybe don't. Maybe don't go on that one. I don't know. That's not an official PCDC link. I don't know where exactly that will take you. So at your own risk. Alternatively, we can ask people after the race who crashed and find out where their danger zones were. I'm sure everybody's gonna have a personal danger zone that they've encountered after the race. Lobbies remade. We'll be vector status, and then we away. Sometimes between sessions it'll out if you're undedicated. Got the so yeah, there's a huge puddle on T1 inside. There's gonna be other smaller puddles. That flicking. There we go. Yeah, I'm back in the server now. All set.
Yeah, that was a mass disconnect.
Yeah. Right. Once it went to the next session, it was just me and Kimmy back in this session. So now to Norton's strategy guide for the race. As you can tell with your eyes from the qualifying, and I've mentioned probably 6 times already, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Expect 1 stop for fuel and possibly tires for both classes. I heard before the race, this is substantiated, but I heard a lot of people saying that the rain tires were burning up pretty quickly. So we might see some interesting last minute tire strategy calls. Oh. Guess we didn't really discuss with any spectating Ollie. That goes getting our lobby set up. The standard race delays that happen. Hey, there we go. Perfect. Might be waiting for a couple more drivers still here, but this will update us on the format. If you're new to the series or have a short memory span like I do, be racing for 90 minutes. That includes the formation lap. So the actual race time, 87 something minutes.
We'll have a manual formation lap. They'll call the grid according to qualifying. And if it takes more than one lap, then we'll go for another one and then start. Pretty standard fare. Tire wear is accelerated. Wheel weather is on. Mechanical faults are on. Going for hard mode. I think the only thing that isn't gonna screw our drivers over is I think pit errors are off. The pit crew won't randomly lose a lug nut or anything. Aside from that, we're not making it easy for these guys. Make it as realistic as possible for a sort of endurance racing style format. Looks like the lobby's loading up here, so we should be off on the formation lap. Bearing with us here. Got pole and LM. So yeah, 90 minutes of racing. Realistic settings for the race. We're gonna see pit stops in here. As far as the multi-class format goes, basically the lower drivers have the right to the racing line. We're gonna see some overtakes from the LMPs, but they also have to be patient and wait for the chance to get around these. LMPs are strange-looking ones. They're hard to tell apart. I still don't know which one's which. I think that one's a Merrick. I don't know. I'm bad at LMPs. They're growing on me slowly but surely. I'm learning to appreciate the LMPs. They sure are fast. These LMP1s have a what's it called? Kinetic energy recovery system. They've got a hybrid system that while
Yeah, it's kinetic energy.
yeah, KERS called. While they're braking, or I guess the battery of the hybrid system is charging under braking. It's salvaging all that kinetic energy that's getting used in the braking, whereas in regular cars your brakes get hot, whatever, it vents the heat, whatever, but the energy recovery system is trying to salvage all of that unused energy and get off on our formation lap here. Salvage all that unused energy, and then when they put the pedal all the way down and they put the throttle to 100%, it basically unleashes that battery power to create more horsepower, and they go really, really fast. What were you saying?
I don't know if you noticed it, but I think this is not raining now.
Good
Looks
God,
like
is
they
it
set up the
foggy?
lobby with it's fog, and after the second half it's gonna be rain, I think. So it maybe messed up some strategies. Some of the guys might not.
Yep. It's looking like the rain is out of the way for now, but it's gonna be raining later. So
I think at least the half of the guys didn't change their tires to dry.
oh no, we might see some. What'll happen if somebody wants to pit on the formation lap here? We do allow this usually. That if you need an emergency pit before the race even starts, you can go ahead and pit, and then you wait at the pit exit to start behind the field. I don't know if that'll work with the track penalties and such on. I guess we did that last season without the penalties on. I'm not sure if
I
we'll
don't
see
think
that.
they can allow it.
Yeah, with the rules on, we might not be able to do that sort of manual hit start thing. But yeah.
It's like when LMP just gone, and yeah.
Yeah, so that's Albiner probably going in for looking a little squirrely. He's on those wet tires, I'm assuming. So you can see here on the when I pull up the speedo, I'm not going to keep that up for the whole race, but you can see at the bottom there's that 243. That's their KERS hybrid system charge. Yeah, as I said, managing that can add a lot to your race. Take a lot of time off if you manage your hybrid system properly.
Yeah, it can game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so how the weather worked here is when we remade the lobby, it checked the weather again, and apparently the weather currently in Spain has cleared up a little bit, but it's still, a chance of rain later, so second half of the race we'll probably see some rain come in here, and yeah, it's definitely throwing people's strategies for a loop here. Get the map up so I can see where everybody's at. Scub in third for qualifying. I don't remember if there's any grid penalties or anything. But to reiterate, Bill Kerman's going to be first in GT3 category. Have a nice day. Second, Scub in third. For LMP1, it's going to be Mason, Turambar, and Sam. I'm curious how, if the game's gonna let Alvin sit in the pits long enough to. Oh, yeah, it looks like he's just sat there.
I don't know how we can do this. I think it need to go a little.
Well, see, the thing is, if you just sit in place on track, you'll get retired for insufficient progress. But if you're just sitting in your pit box, maybe you can sit there as long as you wait. As long as you want to. Or see the sunrise just barely poking through the fog on some angles here. Looks like the fog's actually starting to clear a little bit, but some angles are still going to be kind of hard to see from the cameras. I'll try and manage that as best I can. It looks like they are approaching the start-finish line. Are we going to be off on this race? Like they're checking up the grid here, getting everybody sorted. I'm not sure if that's going to be a go-ahead or not. No, it looks like we'll be going ahead for another formation lap. Or... yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be the warm-up, the real warm-up lap.
Yeah. Looks like they've collected Albin back there in that pink car. You can see him joining the LMP field here, and this will be the hopefully final formation lap. But the time remaining, it's ticking away. So we got 1 minute 24 or 1 hour 24 minutes left. The starting procedure now, once they get back to the start-finish straight. Basically, it's going to be a single file start. We try to have as safe of a start as we can. It's going to be a single file start, and as soon as your car crosses the start-finish line, you can go. We don't have the whole field go green all at once. Try to keep it from becoming the old turn one cluster, you know what, how it is. Go on board with Sam here. The formation lap. Check in quickly though with refield. I think Raz Daniels has retired.
Chaz Daniels, it appears, had some technical difficulties and bowed out. Oh, but it looks like Ice has joined us. He's missed qualifying, so he'll be starting from the back of the GT3 category, but it does look like Ice will be racing with us today here. Oh, here's the LMPs. Go on board with Kimmy here as they cross the line and get going on their race. There they are. Alright, we're off. We got 1 hour, 22 minutes, 30 seconds. Making a big move, Kimmy up into third. Sam did not get a very good start there, it doesn't seem. And Kimmy just hopscotched on up into third place pretty easily.
Maybe they have different hybrid deploy zones.
Uh-oh. What was that? Someone just had a big off.
That was Mason.
Yeah, Mason, our whole starter, had a big off. GT3s are off and racing as well. I'm not sure what in the world is actually going on with these guys. Looks like Kerman and Have a Nice Day are really having it out already early in the race. And that Red Bull livery is great. Kerman's got the Renault RS01, I think is the car. The pretty underutilized GT3 car. Interesting to see it out in front. Try to keep up with a lot all at once because it's all going down on these first couple of laps. There's a lot of fun stuff that happens. Like the LMPs have settled in a bit though, so we'll keep an eye on Have a Nice Day challenging Bill Kerman here. Yeah, as you can see on the map here, I'm going to take it down in a second, but the LMP field is pretty much settled into a pace already. Looks like we got a big pack of cars down here. Everybody, that's Megaseth here in the silver Audi. Apex Envy behind him, Bill Kerman's teammate in the black and yellow Renault. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like 8 cars within a couple of seconds of each other here. I don't know who to watch. Anybody can make a move at any time.
There are some place changes in GT3 4th place. Rubik's and Flow battling look like.
Oh yeah, looks like Rubik's has dropped a little bit behind Flow Scub now, about 7/10 behind him. Ice started from the back, he's gained 1 position. We'll see how far he can climb up here. He's a very assertive driver. He's not usually starting from the back when he does make a qualifying session. So we'll see what he can turn up with here. Rubik's looking like he might make a move here on Flow Scub. Oh man, that fog is awful. Like he made it stick, got enough of a go on the start finish there. GT3s are sticking with it. Looks like Kimmy is making a move around How Good.
And that's the move done and dusted. Goes a little bit wide there. Doesn't look like he's gotten a slowdown penalty or anything for that. Looks like Kimmy's taking the P6 from Jack here. Loskub not done with Rubik's here. Getting a bit closer than before. Looks like he's going to be trying to wear his pace, wear his gap down a bit between the two.
Kimi is looking fast. He started from last position in LMP1, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so if that's the case, Kimmy's already gained 2 positions and possibly could stand to get some more here. Let's see if there's any other drama precipitating early here. Well, Arnie moved up into P1 or P13 for GT3. Oh, we've got a big spin for a Porsche. I don't think that was that leg? I couldn't tell. I don't see a retirement.
Spin, I think. I think he resetted. Kimi is battling again. Somehow he's dropped behind. I don't know, maybe he did a mistake.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like that. It just flip-flopped. Uh-oh, they're gonna go too wide into turn 1. It's not decided yet here, and it looks like Jack's gonna tuck back in behind Kimmy. And yeah, that was a pretty big flip-flop of position there. It looks like Chris is coming up on Albaner here too, as the LMP1 field is already mixing in with the... Oh, big spin for Chris. Looks like that chance is gone for now. That's Mason up into 4th place, and Chris is gonna hold on to 5th. They're already fully mixed in there with the GT3s. Big rear end on the LMP, AVX, and someone, Mason. There's surely some aero damage for some guys on that. I'm not sure what happened, but I think we'll be seeing an incident report on that later on. But I'm not. It looked like Mason was going pretty slow there, but we just caught like basically the moment of impact. So I guess I can't really make any qualitative judgment on that.
I think he just lapped the GT3 and the GT3 is missed his braking point and then rear-ended Mason.
Yeah, I mean that's usually what happens is you know the differing braking points for the LMP1 and the GT3. They both brake differently and in a different distance, so misjudging that distance can lead to some front and rear aero damage very easily. It was odd though, like we just caught the moment of impact, but it seemed like Mason was like nearly at a stop at the moment of impact, but it's really hard to say. Let's see if Mason is gonna hold on to it, or if he's got. It doesn't look like he's got too significant of damage.
The Porsche is just spun again, I see.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
Looks like he is struggling in the fog with the core track.
Yeah, I wonder. I think AVX was the one that was spun before. I don't know if he's got the wrong tires on or what, because that real squirrely out there.
Yeah, it can be.
That almost looks like. Well, I'm sure he's got some aero damage after that contact, but or maybe some suspension damage. I think the bumper is kind of screwed up there on the front right. No, am I just looking at vents? I can't tell. We'll see if he pits for damage here. We'll also see if Mason pits for damage. But it looks like Mason's keeping up with Kimmy here. How Good Am I has pulled a bit ahead of Kimmy, about 2 seconds ahead. Just madness here in the fog with all these cars weaving. Oh, I love it. I love the multi-class. What it's all about. It looks like Rubik's is possibly... But we've had a big shakeup in the GT3. Logger got up into third, and Rubik's is now working on Logger. We'll check in with that. LMP1 category for the time being is Turbenbauer in the race lead position, Sam in second, and Albaner in third. GT3, Kerman is leading currently. Have a Nice Day in second, Logger in third. That's who he's just ahead of Rubik's here. See if Rubik's can whittle that gap down. We'll go for a lap with Rubik's here, and I'll take you through the track formation here. This is the first turn. Kind of a deceptively fast turn, but you have to set up your line properly to get that second little part of the S-curve here. Turn 3 is an absolute suspension and downforce test here. You push your tires to the absolute edge of their limits on there as you try to get the most speed on a nice wide flat turn. Turn 4, pretty standard. Nothing too tricky here, but what we see coming up is a sort of downhill hairpin left. Very, very difficult, as you can see. Pretty easy to spin out there. Got another sort of high-speed turn here, a little bit of an S. And you want to hit that with the exact right line and the right rhythm, and you can keep a lot of speed through there. And another pretty wide, easy right-hander onto the back straight. And we're going to be pushing. See that 100-meter board? And we're going to brake real hard into a left hairpin. Very deadly left hairpin. Another short left-right here. I think it's 100-foot. Is it 100-foot board or 100-meter? I can't tell.
I think it's in meters.
Yeah. Another tight right-hander here, and the final chicane here. I don't know if this is necessarily the final turn or not, but there's a really tight chicane there. Really important to keep as much speed as you can, and the final wide turn back onto the start-finish straight here. It doesn't look like he's got a good slipstream here going into the first turn, and that's Echo looking up the backside of Rubik's here too. Rubik's in the blue and yellow Black Falcon AMG. Love that car. That's Echo in the white and blue Lamborghini behind him. It looks like Echo might get the job done on Rubik's before Rubik's can get anything done here. He is looking for his opening. Just keeping tabs on Ice, who started in the exact last position. He's now moved up into 21. It's pretty good for him. Oh, Echo's hungry. He's got the pace to get around Rubik's at this point, I think, but he's going to get the job done. A very interesting matchup here between the Echo's Lamborghini, Rubik's AMG, and Logger's Porsche RSR. Alright, is the GT3 an RSR? I don't know. I'm not a Porsche guy. I don't really keep Oh, LMP is going to be holding Echo up.
As you can hear in the last lap, when maybe it's Mason, but he's stuck behind those 3 GT3s for the whole third sector.
Yeah, that, I didn't see that when it was going on, but that final sector is nigh impossible for LMPs to get around GT3s. There's basically only one viable line through all the hairpins and chicanes and all those really tight corners in the last sector. So really going to be putting the LMP's patience to the test. Echo trying to catch back up to Rubix and Lager here. Check back in with them in a second. I want to see what's going on here. You got Flowscub here in the red R8. Husky behind him. And that's Zedian in the white and blue Huracan going around the inside of Domi in the Falcon Porsche. Not quite getting it done, but look at these three nose to tail. Oh, and I think Domi went a little bit wide there, didn't lose too much time on it, but that's not what he needed at this point. Oh, they are close. This is why we race right here. This is what it's all about. This real clean racing. Everybody knows each other. We all know what we're capable of. Everybody trusts each other enough to make this really close racing possible. Now, as I say that, we're gonna have a massive accident. And we got another LMP stuck behind this big old train of GT3 cars. See how he handles that. Zedian gets side by side with Flowscub now. Zedian having a bit of an off, having to tuck back in at the back of the pack. That is unfortunate, but now it's Flowscub's turn to possibly snatch that P5 away from Domi. It does appear that our it happened. So Lager is in second and Rubix is in third now, and Have a Nice Day is in P4. I don't know when that happened. I don't know what's going on anymore. I've lost the plot. But in the meantime, it is Kerman, Lager, and Rubix in GT3. LMP1 is still looking like Turambar, Sam, and Albiner. Albiner only 3 seconds behind Sam, but Turambar has pulled out a 23-second lead in front of Sam in P2.
The second half of the race can be interesting because Turambar is really fast in the dry, but he's struggling in the wet. Maybe the other guys can catch up him.
Yeah, that is definitely worth mentioning. As we said in qualifying too, Turambar has really great pace in the dry, but it doesn't look like he was exactly where he needed to be in the wet. Mason pretty easily got about 3 to 5 tenths of breathing room in front of Turambar in the wet, and Sam also knocked it out of the park. And that was in a wet qualifying, so. In the second half of the race, we'll see these pit strategies. Well, we're going to see a tire stop get put off until it's absolutely necessary, and then they're going to be on wets for the rest of the race if the rain comes in the halfway marker. But it's definitely up in the air. We're going to see people settle in here before any rain comes, but once that track gets a little bit wet, it's really anybody's call for the end of the race, what could happen. Flowscub looking to make a move on Husky here. Is checking back in with Ice on the leaderboard here. Ice is up into P19 now. Looks like he's caught Paulie, and oh, he's gonna catch Zedian too. He's looking right on pace with Zedian. It's, maybe not. That's Zedian 2 seconds ahead of him. The timing board is a little off there, but we'll check in with him throughout the race and see what he can pull off. That's, I think, how good am I going beside Lowscub? You see he just rockets through those gaps. And here's a difficult part for the multi-class. Oh, just inches away from each other. There's basically only one viable line through this whole final sector. So it's...
You see it's rain?
What's
you
that?
see that too? I see rain.
Check some cockpits, see if any raindrops are hitting the windshields.
I definitely see rain.
I don't see any on my end.
Yeah, I don't see on the windshield, but on the track maybe you can see a few drops.
Might be precipitating a little bit already, and we got an hour left in the race. An hour, 1 minute, and 50 seconds to be exact. So up ahead, that's Domi in the Falcon Porsche, and Husky just ahead of him in that dark colored car. I'm not sure what that is.
You can hear too. It's definitely raining now.
Yeah, I can hear a little trickle in my headset here. So it's early for rain. That's gonna put off people's strategies a lot worse than having it halfway through the race. That's about 2/3 of the race we're looking at now. Yep, I'm seeing some rain here.
Yeah, it can be game changer if you going to pit now. You can gain a lot. I see some people wanna stay out and struggle in the dry tires to not change the pit strategies.
Yeah, going dry to wet doesn't. You're just gonna have to, shift your pit strategy around. You can't force the track condition to fit your pit strategy. So there's a point where it's just not worth it. I mean, there's sometimes something to be gained for putting slicks, keeping the slicks on for another lap or what have you, but there's a certain point where it's just you're asking for trouble if you stay on slicks when the track is in full wet conditions. So we'll see how long it takes people. It's definitely not the right conditions to put on the wet tires yet. Looks like Mason's trying to regain some ground here in the LMP1 field. He started in P1 and he is now in P6, but he has caught right up to how good am I. And we'll see if how good am I. Oh, he's gonna sneak right in that apex there. It's so risky out here when the LMPs need to pass the GT1s. I'm gonna try to prevent people from stealing apexes from each other. It looked like he had a proper overlap there before turn in, so I mean it's no problem on that one, but it gets risky out here. Oh, both of these LMP drivers looking a little bit squirrely as the track gets a little bit more damp. The tires are breaking loose on these tight corners a little bit more. This is why we play Project Cars. This is the real weather system in effect. We don't know exactly what the conditions are gonna act like, and that's real racing in my book. Not always perfect green track conditions or whatever.
Looks like Ice is put right behind Zedian.
Oh yeah, let's get a hold of this. So, I talk a lot about Ice, how assertive of a driver he is, and he hasn't been racing too much in the main series. He's hit a race here and there, but here we're seeing every race for Ice is basically like an overtaking contest where he really is hungry, and when he finishes really well. His very assertive driving style doesn't always leave him without a scratch, but it does, as you can see, he piles his way into positions. He'll turn the screws all day on somebody, but he'll really just dip into a spot if you give him just a hair of a gap. He'll get in there.
That was a great one. Apex MV already in the pit.
Oh yeah, losing some positions, but he's gonna have a significant undercut if this works out for him for a little while. But I don't think you can make the wet tires last a full hour. I'm not sure, especially not if you're starting without full wet conditions. I think he might chew through those pretty quickly. We'll see if it becomes a two-stopper on wet tires or not.
He is just before or behind Zedian, I think, before the pit stop. It can be interesting if his undercut is working.
Yeah, that's going to be something to keep an eye out for. He's dropped to the bottom of the grid for now, but as we see other people go in for the rain tires, he's going to be gaining some positions here, as long as he gets out and gets on good pace. So did Ice make another move already? Yeah, Ice got ahead of Miffy already while we were talking.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. He just charges through. He's not trying to sit and battle with somebody all day. He just
There's
charges
a big
his way
crash
through.
on LMP.
Oh no, 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 no. Oh, there's a bonnet flying. Oh my goodness. What happened?
I don't know.
Scroll through the list. Albiner is, yeah, that was his rear engine cover section of his body panels on the track there. I'm not sure. We got Zedian and Miffy into the pits for GT3 now. I'm not sure if
Where is Apex MV?
Apex is still in 23rd, last on the grid, but let's see on the map. Oh,
Yeah.
Miffy is just rolling out of the pits now, so I don't think Apex is even going to gain a position from this. But
Yeah, that's really not working.
yeah, not ideal. But as you can see, it might be, the danger zone already out there, so it's going into the pits a lap early is better than possibly ending up like this and not having your entire rear section of your car. I don't know if there's a contact there or if it's just too wet out there for the LMPs on slicks. We haven't seen any of them
I
go
think
to the pit,
it's
though.
a contact on the straight. By the way, Apex MV is just lost 40 seconds for that early pit stop.
Okay, so that's Alvin into the pits. I'm sure he'll be putting on the wets, but we haven't seen any of the other LMP guys. Oh, there's Kimmy as well going into the pits. Doesn't look like he's got any significant damage, so that must just be a tire stop for him then. And Rubix has caught up to Logger. Oh my. So this is Rubix in P2, and Logger just ahead of him. Is that a back marker between them? Not sure what's going on.
That's a back marker, must be.
Yeah, somebody in a Mercedes between them. That's Rubix in the black Falcon, blue and yellow Mercedes. Somebody else in the white Mercedes ahead of him. But in the Porsche in P1 up ahead is Logger, and Rubix is coming for him. But we're going to see a little shake-up here as the pit stops start. So might not, in my opinion, not even worth battling right now. It's worth surviving and keeping a pace up, but I wouldn't be fighting for position at this point. I think some people may be thinking that same thing, as Ice is in 15th now. Oh, Bill Kerman has dropped to 8th. I
think he was in the pit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying the closest attention there, so that was our pole starter, Bill Kerman, and He is now in 8th. Ice has gotten ahead of our pole starter now, so that is a fantastic climb up the ranks so far for him.
Ice was started dead last.
Dead last, yeah.
And he's in 7th place in his class. It's really good.
Yeah, this is what we look for from Ice. He's had really bad luck. Every time in the past, like, I think 2 seasons, every time he's started, he's gotten crashed out in, like, the first or second lap. There's been some incident, and he's been forced to retire. So it's really good to see him out and running now. Man, this is exciting. I don't know if some people were skeptical on Barcelona for that that third sector, for how bad the third sector is for multiclass, but oh, we got somebody off there. Close Gub in the R8. Looks like Ice has just gained another position now, up into 6th place. Anyway, people were skeptical on Barcelona because of the third sector, but we're seeing some very exciting overtakes overall. I'm not disappointed in the least bit with this circuit in our race format. But is that Domi just? Oh, that's Domi in the Falcon Porsche just ahead of Ice. He's looking to make the move. He's got it in. He took the inside, but Domi gives him a little bit of the over-under here. He's got the inside of the next turn. Oh, there may have been a little bit of contact there. Domi's bumper is looking a little loose after that one. They go side by side. Just a couple more turns left in the lap. Domi tucks in behind Ice and Flowscub behind Domi. Through the chicanes here. Getting as much of a run as you can onto this wide final turn.
Ice is still on dry tires, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and these guys are pushing really hard for still having dry tires. My goodness. Yeah, I don't know if let's check out Domi's bumper. Doesn't look like he got any. I thought they might have had a little bit of contact, but it might have just been a slight little knock, if anything, that sector. Oh man, you can see him slipping. You can see Domi's back end getting real squirrely through these turns. These guys, they've got their idea, their strategy. I personally would be playing it safe right now, but these guys are pushing hard on the dry tires. And it is something to see. So that's Ice up into 5th for GT3. Has not pit yet, but we'll check back in with him later on. This is Rubik's trying to reel in the class leader Logger up ahead in that Porsche. And it looks like Mason in the LMP is just getting ahead of Hillbilly Chris. So Mason is back up into 3rd place in the LMP1. He started pole and then dropped back into the 8th or 9th place, and he's back up into the podium for LMP1 now.
I think he's still on dry tires too.
Yeah, a lot of people have not pit yet. I'm truly not able to keep track of pits. The first season I did, I tried to keep a spreadsheet of people's pit stops, but it just gets to be too much. My commentating suffers if I wind up giving too much attention to that. It'd be nice to have to keep track, or it'd be nice if there was just a widget for Race Director that would tell you people's pit stops, but in order
You
to
cannot
make...
see the live timings tab.
No, I won't tell you anything about the pit stops. Albiner's got a 10-second penalty. We can see that. Yeah, the only way to get live info on people's pit stops is to have somewhat invasive plugins running. We talked about possibly having a bop this season and like monitoring people's bops with a plugin that Bill was working on, but you know, then you'd have to run an extra plugin alongside all the other stuff that you run, and that would give us, you know, some more live telemetry. There was a pit crew in the middle of the track for a second. That's one of my favorite glitches in all of sim racing, is when the pit crew just wanders out.
That might be mine.
Polly, what's going on?
I retired. I reckon my pit crew have just vanished. They're like, nah, screw this. I'm gonna go jump in the track.
They just wandered off. They wandered into traffic. What happened out there, Polly?
Crashed. Had to pit early, which I didn't want to do. Of course, I had a pit strategy set for wets. Went out on wets, and it was just a tad too early. They were overheating, slid backwards into a wall, and lost my rear spoiler.
Oh man, so...
And it crashed again, trying to get back. So that's it for me.
That's too bad. I wonder how Apex is doing. He went in for a tire change before anybody, and I thought it might be a bit too early, but obviously we're still in the danger zone where it's not full wet conditions. It's bad for the slicks and it's bad for the wets.
Yeah, I mean, I made a few little tweaks to my setup, which I thought might have helped me in the first dry section of the race, and it did nothing but make my car unstable. So I screwed myself over, really.
Race leader Turambar is in the pits, and second place for the LMP category, also in the pits now, surely getting their tire change on. Mason, did Mason pit yet? I don't know. If Mason did pit already, he's gonna be back into the lead here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. He had a real good push though here before the pit stops come in. So, was that somebody in the wall?
Nope, it's just Logger going into pits.
Okay, I saw
Trying
like
to undercut Rubik's.
yeah, I saw just a frame of a wall and a car as we passed the pit lane, so I got a little bit scared. But that is Rubik's into the lead of the GT3 class, but he has not pit yet, so we'll see how that goes. Man, I like seeing that Black Falcon livery. Nobody ever picks that when I watch. It's not the flashiest livery in the world, but it's tasteful, and I recognize it from my real life racing. I really like that Black Falcon. And he's definitely doing it justice here today. Pretty dominant. Do we have the Haribo liveries on Project Cars 2?
No, I don't think we do. I know what one you're thinking of.
That
is a nice livery.
That's ruined my day that the Haribo liveries aren't in here. I gotta get those downloaded so I can see them on my own time at least. The Haribo cars. I think it was 2016 that they just absolutely dominated the 24 hours of Nürburgring. Oh, I love those Haribo Mercedes. Man, the Mercedes have some really great teams between Black Falcon, the Haribo teams, we
had a crash.
Where?
Logger has crashed into a wall. He's back on track.
Oh no, Logger just got out of the pits.
He did. He then just come out. I'm wondering if he's come out onto... He's unfamiliar with the tyres.
Yeah, just cold tires, but...
That is unfortunate, because now he's got a full tank of fuel and some new tires, and he's not going to be wanting to pit, but his front arrow is going to be suffering. That's Mason into the pits. How good am I into the pits? Turambar retakes the lead when everybody hops into the pits, and Sam retakes P2 for the LMP1 category. Like Major Flex has been in the pits for an age.
Ice has dived into the pits.
In
I
fifth
think
place?
it's at the point now where the spray's coming off of wheels, so it's obviously wet territory now.
Yeah, that's where you want it, because that's where the hydroplaning starts. So no. Because Apex Envy having a little side bump with the LMP car there. I kind of looked like he just didn't see him there, but wasn't a hard contact. LMP carried on. That's nearly all of the GT3 category into the pits here.
Just on board with Dommy, and you can see that he's left it on slicks a lap too long. I think it's very slidey to me.
Oh no.
He was having a bit of a battle with ice. I
Yep.
think ice is going to be victorious from this.
Yeah, I mentioned there's that danger zone where you might want to stay on slicks an extra lap, but at the end of the day, you can't force the track conditions into your pit strategy. So I think Domi ought to be ducking into the pits after this lap. You can see him drifting.
Logger's still in third, so I don't think he pit.
There's Bill Kerman out. I believe everybody was in the pit, so I'm just gonna assume Bill Kerman pushing this hard is on wet tires now.
Or Logger just have too much front damage.
Yeah, it doesn't look like ideal handling on Logger's car. It's hard to say.
It's hard to tell because they all look like they handle. Oh, he's very tail happy.
Yeah, man, that's unfortunate for Logger because he's been having a fantastic race, but I think he needs to think about just a repair stop because that front wing damage is bad.
Dommy's into the pits.
Rubik's still holding out. Oh, there's a little bit of a slip and slide from Bill, and
Rubik's has gone off track as well.
Logger is going to stay out. Now we got Rubik's, Kerman, and Logger in 1, 2, and 3 for GT3 category.
Quite a big lead.
Yeah, Rubik's 50-second lead.
When did that happen? I didn't even know that happened.
Alboner is just catching up Sam, already passed.
Kerman, at some point, I totally missed it. Kerman dropped like a stone through the GT3 category. He must have had a big off or something, and so Rubik's made a big push, and now 50 seconds. I don't know how the 50 seconds came.
I'm wondering if he hasn't pit yet.
I don't think he has. So
He had a bit of a moment just a minute ago. I'll see if he goes in this lap. Yeah, into the pits. That'll explain it.
Yep. There we go. So that's where that 50 seconds came from, and yeah, we'll be seeing these guys getting near the start-finish straight by the end of his pit stop here.
Well, Logger's carrying on, so he clearly doesn't have much suspension damage there. Rubik's is coming out of pits. Ahead of Bill, I think. Oh, it's going to be tight.
I was looking at chat in the Discord, but yeah, it looks like Rubik's came out just ahead of Bill, huh? Oh, big spin from Bill.
Spin from her.
That's Logger up in a second now. Bill's gonna... Those look like some slick tires to me, huh?
It's telling me that Bill's driving on wets.
Is it? Who told you that? Crew chief?
The game.
The game?
Not sure how much I trust the game, but
How do you see that? Oh, are you on spectator mode and you can actually see more
Yeah.
stuff than the race director can?
yeah, it's telling me he's on wets.
That makes a
Top,
lot of
top
makes,
right hand corner.
makes a lot of sense that any old spectator can have more telemetry than the race director.
You know,
Can you sense the sarcasm in my voice, Paulie?
and I know Bill is running without any traction control in this race.
Yeah, he's
So it's
the hardcore lad. He doesn't want that traction control, does he?
I don't think Logger's using any either. Oh, got a spin from a Lamborghini. That is either Echo or Bill into the pits. Either had a spin Zedian or Echo.
I
don't know if Echo.
Where is Echo? Did we?
That was it. No, it was a Zedian spin. I don't know. Was Echo here?
I think Echo retired.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah, I did too. I don't know when that happened.
So Bill has put some more tyres on.
Oh, there's a LMP completely spun around on the start finish. Looks like he might get it under control here. So Ice, after all the pit stop shuffles, he holds on to his 5th place here from dead last to 5th. And we still got 36 minutes left in the race here.
And Ice didn't actually set a quali time, so
Oh yeah, he started dead
He did
last
it.
because he didn't turn up to quali, and not
he did an outlet, and that was it. So
not any fault of his own. He didn't blow off quali. He just got here just in time to join the race. So he just hopped in his rig and went. That's Kerman in 8th. Man, it's strange to see Bill Kerman that far down the grid, but this is what happens when you use real weather and you don't know what to expect.
I'm wondering if he got his tyre pressures all wrong when he put his wets on.
It's possible.
Maybe.
I tell you what, from my point of view, when I race with wets and changing conditions, it is really difficult to make sure you get all the tire pressures and stuff correctly. Especially, I still haven't.
Tommy.
Yep, that's Arnie up into P15. Another one of those just lovely little glitches on P cars that I just can't get enough of is turn your tire pressures to tell you PSI instead of bar. On pit strategy, it still tells you bar instead of PSI. So you can set your PSI in your tuning, and if you don't know what the PSI to bar ratio is, you won't really have an idea on the pit strategy what to set your bar. So I need to just change it to bar and just learn bar instead of PSI, because that's silly.
Yeah, I was doing that for a little bit when we first started.
One of those silly things. The Flowscub is hovering. Flowscub's hovering over the track. Anybody else see that? That just me?
No, he's not hovering for me.
He's hovering 6 inches above the track.
Yeah, that's another glitch. Another glitch. That's quite funny.
We are just getting all of it today. Oh my goodness. It's the future. Flowscub is racing into the future.
So Ice is up into 5th.
And is Kimmy hovering above the ground too? Is everybody just gonna hover for me for the rest of the race? Because I'm gonna be very upset.
Kimmy's not hovering for me.
No, he's not for me either. mist off the tires made it look like it for a second, but it's fine. Might just be flow. Man, it's just not, it's not fixing itself, even from like other people's point of views on my screen. He's just hovering. I love it. Fantastic.
So we've got Husky coming up behind Flo.
Yep.
Battle for third.
We'll keep an eye on that gap to Ice too. Ice has 4 seconds to go if he wants to catch up to Husky here. And Husky, who's 1.3 behind Flo, more than close enough to make something happen soon. Next couple of laps if he keeps it up. "32 minutes remain." Like Domi and Miffy are switching back and forth again. Man, I feel like Flowscub is just hovering higher and higher on my screen every time I see him. He's gonna be orbital soon. As Bill Kerman didn't just move up into 7th, but he has regained some ground from 8th. And Mason up into 2nd after all the first pit stops there. So Mason, another one that dropped through the grid and has climbed his way back up.
The guys in the LMP has the same pace almost right now. The vet, it's more even. Looks like Sam is even catching up to Rambar, but he's too far, I think.
Oh yeah, Sam's got really good pace. Last lap was a 141, and Turimar's last lap was a 141. So Sam has got the pace to get to the top of the LMP field there. He keeps at that. Bill is right up on Cav there. Cav is in the Red Bull R8.
Go on, teammate.
Just look at all that mist that these guys have to deal with out there. You can't see anything. Oh, just side by side. There had to have been some contact there. They were
Yeah, there was
together.
a tiny bit of contact.
Cockpit view just so you can get an idea of what these guys are working with when they get really close. Looks like Bill's got the better run of it. He's gonna have the inside here. Have Tux in behind him. I think that's the deal done. That's Kerman up into 6th now.
It's a very good looking car from the back of that Renault.
Oh man. Okay, so we got 28.5 minutes left of the race. And Kerman's next opponent up in the grid is Ice. And Ice is also trying to climb as high as he can. So we have got something coming in this race still. Between Ice and Bill trying to climb their way up these last 4 positions. 'Cause these guys want the win. Ice and Kerman both. These guys like to win, and they're gonna try their best. So Rubik's, the GT3 leader, might have a comfortable enough lead to keep that first place if he keeps it on the track. But Auger, Flowscub, and Husky are all going to be put to the test here in the last half hour, as they've got some big guns behind them, pushing hard.
Rubik's has a 21-second lead, I think.
Yeah, it looks about what I'm getting here. So after he had a 50-second lead right before he went into the pits, and he still has managed to pull ahead of the pack a little.
I think Logger behind him's got damage, so that's probably keeping him from catching up.
Worth noting also in the LMP category, Albaner is in E3 right now, but he's got a 10-second penalty for some reason. So how good am I? Just needs to get under 10 seconds away from Albaner, which he currently is.
So has Albaner got a drive-through? Because you get a penalty after the 5-second penalty. So
yeah, I
don't know if he's had a drive-through or not.
I would imagine, but I think we saw that in the last race as well, where somebody had a 10-second penalty, and we weren't sure if they got a drive-through or not.
Oh, massive crash from Albaner. Straight into a tyre wall.
No, he just says forget about it. I'm cutting. I'm going right to the pits. He's been pushing so hard this race, and he's had some great performance, but this is his second major crash that's cost him a body panel or two. So
looking at his lap times, they're a bit off the pace as well.
Yeah, he's gonna have to work to get up here.
Insta bonnet. He's got a new bonnet. Oh, it's looking very close between Husky and Flo.
Yeah, let's get on with them.
Maybe the timing suggested it was closer than it actually was. Though. No.
He's been working on it.
Ice is definitely catching. He's only 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, Ice is catching. For what the gap between Ice and Bill Kerman are, but gonna get interesting here around the P4. So, How Good Am I moves firmly into P3 for the LMP1 category, and Sam up into P4. Albaner is still in the pits, so we'll see what he can salvage in the last 25 minutes of the race here.
I think the LMPs need to pit once more. They didn't have enough fuel for the whole race with one stop.
And they just
I think they need a splash and dash at the end.
Yeah, we'll go on for a lap with How Good Am I. He started with 40.5 this lap, I believe. We'll try to get an idea of what his fuel usage is.
I think that was what happened a couple of weeks ago, is they end up needing a splash and dash towards the end.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, that was me too. Just for 10 laps maybe.
Oh, Hillbilly Chris is from Austria, actually. That's in the chat. We'll fix up your flag. A couple of the flags we just took from the last session for the overlay graphic. I mean, we took from the last session. And I eyed them up because I know where almost everybody's from. And I eyed them up and I said, yeah, good enough. So, so that's my fault. I'll let Rubik's know that we'll change your flag on there. Oh, what's that? Well, Audi is off there. Was it? I forget who was in the that Audi. is Arnie or
Dragastaff.
Dragasath, yeah, one of those guys, I think. So, how good am I? He's just gonna cross the line again. He started the lap with the 40.5, I think, and he is.
Husky up into third.
Oh, he made the move while we were.
Yeah, I think Flo had a spin because the time dropped dramatically, and Ice has caught up to the back of Flo. Yeah, so how good have I used? What, 2 litres?
And there's Ice getting around Flo, no problem.
He has a penalty, I think, from the spin, and the LMP1 used 2.5.
Yeah, maybe a slowdown. He doesn't have a time penalty. And oh, it looks like he's not giving up. He's trying to getting real close to Ice there. They got 2 LMPs following him. This is getting hairy. LMP just kind of gets forced wide a little bit there. I'm just so upset about this hovering car. I've never seen this glitch before, and I don't want to again. It is ruining my immersion.
I still don't have this glitch.
I don't know what the deal is. It doesn't matter like what camera angle I go to. I'm sure if I like disconnected and reconnected, Husky wouldn't be hovering, but everybody else would be.
Well, you can go for that wet tyre approach, or you can go for that hover car approach.
Yeah, it seems Flowscub rather is going for the hover car. You can't hydroplane if you're if you're just hovering already. Oh, he's losing the back end there a little bit. There's that. Was that Audi just been sat there for the entire lap, or did he go off there again?
No, he went off again.
Major flex, maybe approaching Kimmy, not quite. About 3 seconds. Have another look at the lap times. Bill Kerman had a 1:59 last lap, which is monstrous for the GT3. That's really good pace. Ice, in comparison, had a 2:04 last lap. Rubik's had a 2:02 last lap. So Bill Kerman's got the pace to threaten nearly anybody ahead of him right now if he keeps going like this.
Albonar has a great lap to under 40. The only one who can go under 40 with LMP1s.
Oh wow. Yeah, it seems the track conditions have degraded enough where it's just Albonar that's able to get under there. Looks like Husky's just within sniffing distance of Logger again. Under a second now. Oh, Logger did not need that. He's pushing real hard to try to keep ahead of Husky, but pushed a little too hard there. Lost the back end of his Porsche, and Husky is looking to make the move. Both in Porsches here. They're going to be very evenly matched. an eye out, see if we can see this puddle that supposedly forms. Yeah, there's a massive puddle just on the inside, and Husky hits it.
As you called.
What was that?
Just when you called out, you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna call that a curse because we heard about the puddle before the race even started, and I'm sure those guys have noticed it as well. But yeah, that puddle along the inside of the curb of turn 1 just makes you can't hit the apex. You have to stretch the apex out 1.5 feet to the left instead of actually hitting
Albonar
it.
is flying again after the crashes. The 9 loans. I think if he didn't have that 2 crash, maybe he's fighting for the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's had monstrous pace, but it has been costing him. I think he's been pushing really hard, and it's been showing. Like he's got the raw skill to go real fast here, but I guess I don't know the cause of his accidents, but sometimes going too fast can be a bad thing. But he's certainly on some good pace.
Yeah, watching Mason and Sam for the last few laps.
All side by side,
They-
ice and flow.
They're doing the same pace as Turambar.
Oh yeah. Yes, we
So
might have
Turambar is only faster than on the dry dirt.
a bit of a squeeze here in both categories as it approaches the end of the race. We got just about 16 minutes left of the race. Ice is looking for a podium here. Husky
So is Bill
trying to hold
behind.
him off. Yeah. Oh, how far is Bill? Bill is within. Oh, here we go. Here we go,
And Bill is
boys.
still under 2 minutes.
It's going down. Bill is within visual distance of Ice. Ice is within visual
Of a
distance of a
podium.
podium. Here we go, boys. Flowscub is still back there too. Oh.
Is Husky going to crack under the pressure and then ice follow him?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in Husky's position right now.
I wouldn't want to be in Ice's position.
Yeah.
Trying to battle for that position, but he's got the pressure of Bill coming up behind him. It'll be too much for me.
Unbelievable.
Ice has the better line through that corner. Rear end of that Porsche is looking very slidey.
He's racing without traction control, I think.
Oh my goodness. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm so excited to see what happens here.
That's what we've all been waiting for.
Rubik's in the pit from the first place.
Oh my. Oh, Bill gets a big run on ice here. He's getting the inside. He's got it. He's got the inside. Is Ice gonna
he's gonna
tuck
take
in?
both. Oh,
Nope. Okay. No 1-2 there, but Ice is gonna have to tuck in behind Bill there. There's really only one line through here.
well, maybe Bill will put Husky under a bit of pressure, and then Ice maybe get a position back. From
Oh, speaking of the
Oh.
pressure, Husky gets a bit sideways. These guys are just way too close for comfort. My goodness. And Flowscub's
So
still
why-
keeping up while these guys are battling it out with each other.
Rubik's is back out of the pits, ahead of them.
Oh, Logger just
Oh,
snatched
Logger got
P1 away
it.
from Rubik's. And Ice
Ice
is...
has the slipstream.
Oh, he's gonna get the inside around turn 1. LMP sneaks in there before they all get through. Bill Kurtman's side by side with the LMP. Husky's trying to sneak in to the inside line, the secret inside line that they don't want you to know about. The secondary inside. Oh my goodness, look at this business. Are we gonna get split up by the LMPs? Nope, they are keeping it respectful. That's what I like to see. Everybody's keeping in their place. This is getting messy though, my goodness. Oh. Wow. Oh, Rubik's overtook Logger at some point. I don't know when that happened, but he got his spot back. Looks like there's just a 1.5-second gap between Logger and Rubik's for P1 and P2 there. Ice not having a good time around there. Catches it, but Husky might be in a position to... Nope, not quite. Husky doesn't have the breathing room.
Ice has... So I think Ice has the more stable car out of the two of them.
Yeah,
it looks like to me.
I think that's the first time I've seen Ice really get sideways there, which is good. I think when Ice
up, so.
When Ice had the Corvette, I think Flowscub is now behind him. Ice has had the tables turned on him. When Ice was driving the Corvette in the GTE, I think one thing that Ice has probably learned through the past couple seasons is that his setup and his car choice needs to sort of fit his driving style. The Corvette, I think, is a really amazing car, and I know it's one of Ice's favorite cars, but I think that Corvette didn't do so well with how aggressive his driving style is. I think he needs a balanced and nimble sort of car to fit his aggressive driving style.
In Project Cars 1, when we done a GT3 league, I was teammates with Ice in the Z4. So Ice knows his way around the car, which helps. It's quite successful for us then. So.
Herman's going for P2 around Logger. There he makes it happen. Logger has held on with some front end damage for a long time. He's had some amazing pace for how damaged he's been.
So with 10 minutes to go, can Bill make up the next 4 or so seconds and get the win?
Yeah, Rubik's had that pit stop, so he lost his 20-second lead, and now it's only 5.5 seconds. My goodness. Rubik's gonna be the one to dethrone Bill, or is he gonna crack? I don't know. Let's find out.
It is doing 2 minutes 0 times. Not now, but in overall.
Yeah.
See what Rubik's next time is compared to Bill.
They're both.
Still differences.
They're both in the 2 minute 1 area. It's gonna be tricky for Bill to make that up.
So 2 minute .4 for Rubik's. 2 minute .9 for Kermin. So very similar pace at the moment.
Husky saving fuel. I don't know why. He's not pushing the throttle full, as you can see.
Yeah, maybe that's just a manual traction control there, if he's not going flat.
Now you can see the on Ford full throttle, it's 90% maybe. It can be the lean or normal mix in the fuel map. The game, this is how the game do it.
Yeah, doesn't look like Bill's narrowed down that time very much here. Still around the 6.2 to 6.5. Yeah. Ice is sneaking up Logger now. Ice might get on the podium if Logger can't keep it together. Man, the storm just continues here in the GT3 field.
I reckon we'll see on the straight. Logger with his aero damage and ice with it. Oh,
Oh, we're gonna see it before the straight.
blimey, wasn't expecting that.
Wow, he snuck right in there. That is Ice, who started in dead last, onto the podium with 7 minutes left of the race. We'll see if he can hang on to it. I think he's got what it takes, but
Racing in the pits in the LMPs. So is that a unscheduled stop? I think it is because he's got some fuel left.
got 18 liters left. That might be enough to make it. I don't know what that's. Oh, Rubik's and Kerman, what's this gap? Oh, okay. The gap looked like less on the little timing screen, but it's still around 6 seconds.
Rubik's and Bill are doing almost the same lap.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. I don't think at that pace. I don't think Bill's gonna be catching him. Got 6 seconds to make up if he wants to get P1. It's not impossible. I mean, Rubik's could always go wide and lose a significant amount of time, but he's been so consistent that seems like his strategy's worked out for him this race, and he's just maintained his pace. Mason out of the pits. He's in P4 now, so yeah, he's got 3 seconds till how good am I? Not sure if we'll have an upset here or not. We got 5 minutes 20 seconds left in the race.
That can be happening.
Oh, well,
He's faster than...
spin from ice. Spin from ice.
Oh no! Oh no!
There's 2 positions.
And like that,
3
Ice falls off the
positions.
podium. Oh,
3 positions.
He's gonna be fuming about that, but man, going from even if he doesn't make up from this, going from dead last to up to the podium to 6, that's still an amazing finish for him. We'll see. Doesn't look like he's got too damaged. Looks like he just kind of slid off and scraped the wall a little bit.
Mason is catching up, I think.
Oh, ice back up into 5th. Flow spun. I don't think ice hit any walls.
Yeah.
Not on my screen anyway.
Yeah, I didn't really see the whole thing. I think he just like slid off a little bit.
Well, I went on board with him as he started spinning, and he didn't hit any walls for me.
Okay. So he's in good shape still. But he is 3 seconds behind Husky still. Husky looks like he's going
gone wide. Logger had a bit of a tail happy moment as well.
Oh no! Who's on Al's team? Damn. But here's Mason having a run at how good am I? Oh man, we got 2 P3 fights coming up, Logger and Husky and GT3, and then here we got how good am I ahead of Mason in the LMP category.
And Bill is catching up Rubik's too.
Oh my.
He's done more than 1 second faster lap.
I don't know what to watch.
Oh, Mason going on the inside here. Side by side with how good am I? Oh, he loses his momentum there. I think he ran out of hybrid and had to pull back, or maybe he didn't want to try to take the inside line there, but he certainly lets How Good Am I know that he's there. 2 minutes 45 left in the race.
Bill is 2 seconds behind Rubik's. Is that possible?
Oh, no. Okay, well, this screen says 4.5 seconds.
My screen's just fucked.
Yeah, that'll happen. Does 3 something? He's in good shape. If you can see Rubik's just ahead there, so there's a glimmer that Herman and Rubik's.
Mason did the overtake.
Oh, Mason got the move done. What was that, Flickin'?
Yeah, Mason did the move.
Yep,
Maybe
yep.
they have different hybrid deploys. I think How Good Am I is gonna catch up Mason on the straight, because he has a lot more top speed. He's deploying his hybrid there.
Yeah, that's that hybrid strategy coming into play there, where last lap Mason went side by side, but he just ran out of hybrid, ran out of momentum there. So we'll see if How Good Am I tries to catapult himself ahead of Mason here on the straight.
It's very close between Logger, Husky, and Ice.
Doesn't look like How Good Am I is going to have what it takes to get it done. But look at that, by the end of the straight, he really catches up on people. It looked like he's using hybrid on the speedo, but
Contact between Logger and Husky. Tiniest amount. It's allowing Ice to close in a bit more. Just what Ice needs to try and get back. Oh, Ice is looking hungry.
oh, he got a good line through there.
This is going to be last lap as well. So he's only got a few corners left to do it, Ice. Turumba's slowed down a little bit. Just to make sure this is the last lap.
Oh yeah, Turumbar's about to cross.
Oh, Ice got to try and flee outside.
Get aboard with Turumbar here. Watch him cross the line.
Under pressure. Ice up into fourth.
That's Turumbar with the win here. Get back with Ice.
Can Ice get on the podium in the last turn?
Oh, it's time, boys. Oh!
Oh my god.
Wow. Oh. What? All right. Well, they crossed the line. We're just gonna pretend like that none of that shenanigans happened. It's tradition on the cooldown laps to have a little bit of a demo derby. So don't.
Well, we have licenses off, so.
Oh yeah, good. But yeah, to the viewers, don't assume that this is bad sportsmanship. We all demo derby on the cooldown lap, as you can see.
PCDC tradition.
Yeah. This is that we race clean during the race so we can mess everything up on the cooldown.
Well, who would you like up here, Dustin?
Just amazing. Man, I want a lot of people. I don't have a lot of time for interviews, so we're gonna try to make them short. But I've got 5 people that I really want to talk to. I want Rubik's, Kerman, Ice, and Mason and Turambar for LMPs. So whoever
Who do you want first?
whoever's clever. Let's do winners first. See if Turambar or Rubix wants to come in.
Okay.
Monstrous race. Oh my goodness. That's Turambar with the win here. Damn, getting a really nice second place in the Mason. Had a rough start to the race. He started first, dropped down to 8th or 9th, and got back onto the podium. How good am I? 4th place, Albiner 5th, Major Flex 6th, and Kimmy 7th for the LMPs. Rubix takes the win for the GT3s. One of the newcomers. He's got monstrous pace, this guy. He was really great in the Nürburgring race we did on our off week. So just beat Bill Kerman here in his field, which is amazing. Rare. I love Bill, but man, I like seeing some really heavy competition here. And Bill managed a second place there. Sort of come from behind thing. Logger got 3rd for the GT3. Ice started dead last. Got a 4th place in the GT3. Couldn't quite nail the podium down, but he was bumper to bumper with Logger at the very end of the race. Husky 5th place. Flowscub 6th. Have a Nice Day 7th. Apex Envy in 8th. Miffy in 9th place. Domi got 10th. Regaseth got 11th place. Arnie got 12th in class. Polly is in the booth with me. He clearly tired. Alright.
Turambar's up here.
Hello, Turambar. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
That was
That
how.
was a tough race.
Yeah, how'd that go from your point of view there?
Yeah, because I hate rain, and then quali was with rain. The race was supposed to be with rain, and instead there was the dry at the start. So I had to build a big gap between the other guys that were a bit faster than me with rain, and I made it, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, from our point of view, not knowing your strategy, and knowing that everybody's strategies just got thrown to the wind once it was a dry start, it seemed like yours just worked out there. That adaptation seemed to work out in your favor a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why, but my dry setup was working better with the rain. So then on my last lap on the qualifying session, I was kind of 1 second faster than my previous time, but I spun, so I could have been first also during the quali. But Mason had the same pace as mine with rain, so I really had to build that gap at the start of the race.
That's impressive that you're able to adapt and execute that fast, and it just worked out. I don't. I mean, there was a bit of a shake-up when the rain came and everybody was pitting, but it seemed pretty dominant up there.
Yeah, I love LMP1. They are like my favorite cars ever. So.
It definitely shows.
And also, I'm happy because Flinken is not here with me.
Yeah.
Because he would have been faster than me. So I actually sent some mafia guys to his home. They broke his wheel. And, that was my plan all along.
That is funny. Well, enjoy your victory. Congrats on that. We'll see what happens next week. We'll see if Flick and Flocken's back in the race to challenge you again.
I think I will have to send my guys again to his house.
Well, okay, I'll move you back, but congrats.
Thanks. Bye.
I'll go down. Who do you want next? Bill?
Let's get Bill or Rubix, Ice or Mason. I want still.
Rubik's. Well, I'll drag Rubik's up.
All right. Flickin', did you catch that bit from Turambar? Rubix, hello.
Hello.
Amazing race. How's that win feel?
Amazing. I don't know. I don't even know how I ended up in the first place because I started on 8th and then then there was the decision like, do I go for a dry setup or do I go for a wet setup? But then I thought, I'm only 8th. I have to pass some people at least to go to end like in the top 5 or something if I want to do that. So I went for a dry setup. I passed like 2 people in the first 3 or 4 laps in the first corner, which was really nice and clean. And from then on, some people, like 2 people, spun in front of me. I had a fight with Laura. Then I have no idea what happened to Bill. I think he pitted way too early or something. And then it was mainly just a pitch strategy why I was then in front of Laura and Bill at the end.
Yeah, I think Bill. I didn't catch what happened to him either. I don't think he pitted. I think he like got spun or something. He just dropped through the grid pretty early on until like 8th. Yeah, this race, once it started, we knew it was going to be a big wild card for everybody's strategies and everybody's technique. The people that were able to adapt and overcome surely came out ahead. You beat Bill Kerman in front of everybody. Ha!
Yeah, that's amazing. But, yeah, the main thing was just like to stay out as long as you can on the soft slick tires, because like I could race till the race pace of like 1 minute and 54 or 55, and the people with the wet tires weren't faster, so I stayed out for like 2-3 laps longer than Logger, and that's why I passed him with the pits, and yeah, that was mainly to just stay as long out as possible. Then towards the end I thought, should I change one more time, like 50 minutes before the end? Because the wet tires, like just the left rear are really shit after like 2-3 laps.
Yeah.
So I thought I didn't believe in myself to run the complete race without spinning. So I pitted and I had like a 35-second gap. So that was like just enough to come out near Laura, and yeah, Bill really like hunted me at the end, but I could stay in front somehow.
Yeah, you guys had a really similar pace, and I'm sure the pressure was on there, because if you slipped up at the very end there, he would have been on top of you.
Yeah, especially towards the end when, like, in the last lap, then when the winner of the LMP1, like the overall winner, I don't know who it was, but he overtook Sam on the start-finish line, so I had like the victory already in the last race, and I had just not to crash the car.
Yeah. Well, we gotta keep moving, but congrats on your win. That was an absolutely amazing race.
Yeah, thank you.
Bill, Ice, or Mason, though? Pumping out these interviews in Interview Factory. I gotta go straight to work. I got back to back. I don't consider.
Hello,
Hello,
guys.
Bill. How'd that race go, Bill? That was something.
Yeah, it was a wild one. Well, first of all, I was not expecting the weather we got.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
starting with-
was.
Yeah, I mean, I had my nice dry setup, I had my nice wet setup, and I had to decide at the beginning, and I picked the dry one, which actually did not work in the dry because it was set up for hotter conditions. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle the whole race, and then I pitted too early for wet tires, which set me back a bit, and actually I didn't really know where I was in the race and who had pitted and who not. Then I chucked it into tire barrier at the exit of turn 2 and had to pit again. And from then on, it was just, well, trying to see what I was gonna get, and there I started catching people. Catched half, and then I caught Ice, and I realized that, well, maybe there's a podium in it, and yeah, that's what happened.
That was quite a comeback. So you went into a tire wall early on the race. Is that what happened? Because you just disappeared. Like I didn't even see anything happen, and you were just gone.
Yeah, I crashed into a. Well, first I pitted for wet tires
Oh,
a bit
yeah.
too soon. That was when I initially disappeared. And then I crashed, continued for a bit with damage. Then I realized that it would be more beneficial to just fix that stuff and also get fresh wet tires to the end.
Well, this race was really a test of everybody's adaptation there. Like you said, you had a dry setup, but still it was a cold, foggy morning. So it's still not an ideal setup, and it got wild out there. It was a real X factor of a race, but you made a great comeback there.
Yeah, thanks. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was a great push. And when you and Ice were all pushing up to the podium together, you guys had like the same pace, and oh my goodness, that was some of the most intense racing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. It was fun that the whole pack converged like at the same time. I was like catching up to Ice, and Ice was smelling the podium, and I was like, maybe I'll have a word in that.
Yeah, that was really great. Well, congrats. That was a fantastic race. We're gonna keep moving on, but good on you for that one. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Thanks. See you guys.
Bye.
Sit to go next.
We
So
got
I shall drag
Ice,
him up.
Ice or Mason? Hello, Ice.
Hello. What up, Fake Nash? Woo!
The triumphant return of Ice from dead last to what was that, fourth? That was amazing.
Fourth, yeah. I should have had third.
Yeah.
Yes, we
But I
did see
drove
this.
through a puddle.
Oh, those puddles are killers, man.
What you wouldn't have heard was about 3 minutes before that, I was saying how the warning, because someone gave the warning that the puddle was forming on T1. And I was like, oh, it doesn't really apply to me because I never hit the apex.
Oh.
And then, bam.
Yeah, that was a
Nice.
dangerous one. We saw some people get really thrown off by that one apex puddle. You gotta push your whole apex out like 2 feet.
Yeah.
Ruins everything. But we were keeping an eye on you, Ice. We were keeping an
Nice.
eye on you. I saw you start climbing up, and after the first couple of laps, you don't get into a horrible race-ending accident in the first couple of laps, I know something good's gonna happen. So I kept my eye on you.
I spun on like the third lap or something.
Yeah, but man,
Yeah, came back.
man, did you climb?
People underestimated the transition though. I knew it was going to take forever, and I was out for like 13, 14 minutes after the rain got spotted. So I probably could have gone longer, but the tires were so fucked at that point that there was just no point.
Right. Well, yeah, that was a crucial point in time. You see some people sort of panic putting on wets, but from what I hear, people were cooking the wets because they were.
Yeah. It was way too slow a transition to go
Yeah,
on.
that was where I went wrong. That's why I ended up retiring, because it was just pitting too early. It was just not good.
Yeah. Oh well, it was good. I might be back for more, maybe.
I hope so.
Either. Yeah, because some work things have changed around, so I might be able to make it back in time to race now. But no quali or practice. So
I see. So it'll be starting from the back and climbing up like the overtake fest that you anyway.
yeah, literally every week.
That's fine with me. It'll be interesting to watch at the very least. Man, when you and Kerman were all converging and the entire pack converged at the end, that was amazing.
It was so annoying that they all caught up to that pack at that time. If I could have got maybe like a few more laps in before he got up to us, probably wouldn't have fucked so hard. But
I was fucking screaming. You gotta watch the stream back at the very end there when you guys are all getting back together. It was amazing racing. I was losing my mind.
it was super slow. It was like everything was happening in slow-mo on that rain.
So good. Well, you got a little bit robbed of a podium, but man, that was one of the best performances I've seen in a while. Congrats on that.
Yeah, I
Thank you
kind of
very
feel
much.
we should have Logger up here.
Ah, fuck him. He doesn't deserve the spotlight.
Yeah, I've got time. We're running a little early. I got time to bring Logan.
Nah.
All right, see ya, Ice. Congrats.
Is he? See ya.
He's here. We'll keep us. Let's have a party. What's up, Logger?
Is he even there though? That's the thing.
Hello.
Oh, here he is. Fuck.
Logger, how'd it go, man?
Yeah, Ice, what are you doing here, man? fourth. No.
He went from last. He went from dead last to fourth, though. That's what happened.
No one remembers a bronze medalist.
Yeah, I went from fifth to third. But
Yeah, you did like half the race with massive front end damage. How'd that go?
suspension damage. Yeah, shit.
Oof. How'd you
Yeah,
keep
oh,
it
sorry.
together?
I knew ice was coming. Ice was coming, and I thought, I'm having a baby.
You got that damage like immediately after your pit stop too.
I know it was going beautiful up to that point.
You had a full tank of gas and fresh tires, and I was like, I would pit right now because I play it safe. But man, you stuck it out there, and you did all right. You kept up the pace.
Yeah, man. How many people you get listening to this crap anyway?
Right now we got 9, but
Nine.
Mate,
Awesome.
if your missus one of them.
No, man. She's at something with work tonight. So she tells me, she's having an affair.
She's off with another bloke.
Yeah, man, maybe.
Oh,
Mate, who would want to stay with me? All she gets to do on a Saturday night is watch me race. Really.
Well, who'd want to stay with you anyway? All you get is third places.
It's better than fourth, mate.
Mate, it's just my first race.
All right, boys. All right, gentlemen. My good sportsmen here. Let's take the banter to off track. PCDC after dark. I'm gonna keep moving on interviews. Congrats to both of you guys. That was amazing racing. Let's try to get Mason in here, Polly.
He's gone offline.
Okay, well, I guess let's bring Ice back. Ice, you're back.
I'm back.
Logger went offline, so I guess we're just gonna.
No, he's still there.
What?
He was just talking to me in the main chat.
Or not Logger, Mason. I was trying to get in here. Anyway, hello Logger. We're all back because we're gonna wrap it up now. I'm not getting a interview with Mason, so if anybody wants to do some shout outs, go ahead.
Shout out
to Logger's missus.
Yeah,
Logger's missus, fucking another bloke.
Yeah. Shout out to the other bloke.
Yeah. Steve, you are killing it, mate.
Yes, Steve.
Oh, that's brutal. All right. Well,
yeah. Excellent. Until next week, and should be doing something else, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. No more breaks in the season, I don't think. We'll be back next week with what's after Barcelona. Algarve. Yep, we're going to Algarve. So same time, same place. People. I've been Dustin the Destroyer for PCDC. PCDC.link if you want to join us. Say bye, everybody.
Tell your friends we can get like 12 or something.
Yeah, well, like hundreds of people watch it after the facts. Not we get like 10 to 15 watching during the stream, but then hundreds of them after.
Hundreds of slackers, man.
What? Really?
Yeah. If you check the views, we get like 100 times more views. Anyway, well, I'm still streaming. We're signing off. Goodbye. We'll talk about this afterwards.